Yeah, I'm recording. Alright, Jimmy's starting her up, and
making sure it's in neutral.
This is going to be the first trial run.
What? Let's see if it'll go in reverse.
Moving. Got the hood shut? Drive it under her own power. So fun. Yeah, he's hitting gas. He barely touched the thing, and the whole body force. Yeah. Get back there, damn it! Alright, here he comes. I was just waiting for this.
Okay, Chubas. This is a random little update video about my truck. Yeah, I know, there's a broken dryer here. Freaking drum was riding on the motor. Anyways, in the coming months, after taxes, hoping I should be able to get some cash back. I got some things to itemize expenses that we did on this for this channel, and what I'm kind of thinking of doing is just going crazy with my truck, like crazier than I've gone so far. I really like my independent front axle suspension, but I want to go four-wheel drive, and I don't necessarily want to mess with the independent front or independent 4x4 axles, just because it doesn't sound like a whole. It just doesn't sound fun. What I want to do is, and I kind of frown on this, but I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it anyways because it'd probably be cheaper, you know, parts wise and whatnot. But is to just put a Dana 60 from a F150 of this year, but it has still has the radius arms and still coil sprung. I want to keep the coil sprung suspension, and then I've also seen them. They have disc brakes, so you get the newer years like the 80, 82 or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing, is getting an axle like that, go to the junkyard or something and pull one. And then I'm going to order up a whole bunch of new brackets. So I'm going to get some lift brackets. Actually, I won't even need the axle pivot brackets. I can completely get rid of those. But I'm going to get a drop bracket for the radius arm bushing. So that way the radius arm can tilt that way a little bit, and we can get some better caster on the axle. And I'm also going to put my blue bushings in instead of the stupid, I won't need the caster bushings anymore. So we'll have to do something weird with the front drive shaft, because what I'm doing is the 5-speed transmission that I'm going to be getting for this is actually a Tremec TKO 500. I'm getting it for the availability, the extra strength that it has, and also I want it because the overdrive is way nicer. I want it because the overdrive is a lot nicer, and it's like a .68, whereas the ZF5 is a .76. If we get the .68, I'll be able to do a pretty good speed of like 80 to 90 miles an hour with the engine in a good RPM range. Not, something ridiculous. And the customization of the transmission is a lot better, and you can change the shifter position. The shifter position on that transmission comes as a rear shifted one, but you can buy a front or mid shift kit for it. I can't find the front shift kit from TKO or Tremec, sorry, but I can get the mid shift kit. So the mid shift on this truck will put the shifter right under my cup holder, so I'll have to make a new pan, relocate my cup holder and all as well. And I'll get a new bell housing to go with that transmission, and I'll be using a Ford Racing clutch. Found one that it's supposed to release easier, so they'll probably have a softer clutch, which would be nice. And so that'll be a conversion in itself, and I'm sure it'll be an interesting series to have a Tremec TKO 500 behind a 4BT Cummins. So after I do taxes and go through all that, I'm worried that I'm gonna get dill holed for whatever reason, but I get like that every year. So I just need to get, I'm hoping to get at least a couple grand back so I can nuke a couple of loans. I just have an engine loan that we got for this last year to do the engine. That's what got me the engine. I've paid a good deal of it off already, but I want to just wipe it so I have extra money coming through so we can get parts and stuff. And I do want to get new tires for this. I was going to get new wheels, but I'm thinking I'm going to keep the original wheels, but what I'm going to do is, with these old tires on them before we get new ones, I'm going to get some wire wheels and stuff, and we're going to just get them down to bare metal as close as we can, and I'm going to clean them up really good and primer them, and then what I'll do is I'll actually end up painting them. The black is alright, but I kind of want to go with a different color. Now with that being said, the rear end we still need to address. We still need to replace the front bushings on this end, on the springs, and then I also want to beef those up to lift the back end up, because without my airbags aired up, the back end sits just a little lower than the front, and the front's got a lift spring in it, so I need to just beef that up to get that back end up. And I still need to fiddle around with my fuel tanks. I gotta get the rear one fixed and this and that. And I have all kinds of interior stuff, and Jesus Christ, the list, the truck is not done at all. It's still got a lot I want to do to it. And then the transfer case, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that the transfer case is going to be weird too. I'm going to probably have to do I might do something like an NP205 or whatever, and then we're going to have to do a custom drive shaft, and we'll have to do one with a little carrier bearing, and then this and that. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to do some research. If it ends up being easier to just do the twin traction beams, or the independent front axle 4-wheel drive beams, or whatever the hell you want to call them, that is an option. But if I do the D60, it might be a little bit better. But on the other hand, I don't really go off-road all that much, so I'm not worried about maximum wheel travel for rocks and stuff. I like the independent because both wheels are independent of each other. But I don't know. I'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. But yeah, so the truck got a lot to do. For right now, I do need to I want to paint the wheels again, and then I want to get new tires. I think I found a set. I really don't like Master Crap, the brand, but the tires I was looking at that they have the tread that I want. It's real nice and deep. It's a good aggressive tread. It probably would have gotten me out of this yard, which you can't see. And combine that with 4-wheel drive. I got the LSD and a locking front diff. It should have plenty of traction for snow and whatever crap we get into around here. Mainly I'm just rain and snow and the occasional yard parking. Anyways, I'm rambling on too much.